Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nanny. I am so excited and so passionate about tonight's topic. As many of you have, you probably saw me and Nanny Shars on Thursday and Nanny Hookup. We kind of touched on it, but this lady right here, mm, Miss Nanny Chella, she gonna school y'all today.
I'm gonna
I'll
try.
just let you know.
I'm gonna try.
Be ready. Got your pen, get your paper, get ready to write. And if you have questions, please put them in the comments below so that comment on YouTube so that we can see them, we can answer your questions, and yeah, we're gonna get started. We'll let Nanny Shars. I'm so used to calling her name.
I know that's
Sorry, Nanny Chella. Just too many nannies.
I
This
know,
is
right?
Nanny Chella. I'm gonna let her introduce herself before I stick my foot back in my mouth again.
Okay, guys, I am Nanny Chella, and I'm born and raised in ATL. I nanny here. I've been a nanny for over 15 years. Woo-hoo. I have two charges right now. They're 7 and 11, and I've been with my family. No, I'm sorry, not 7 and 11, because he would kill me. He's 8 years old. He's 8 years old now, and you know how
You
kids
gotta
are.
get it right.
My family. I've been with my family for 7 years actually, and it's been great. I love it. Nanny life is great. And one cool fact about me, I'm really a dope nanny. Okay, I'm authentic, and I just speak my mind. So yeah, that's me.
She she can't help it.
I cannot help it. I'm
She
so vocal.
is she's bold, but she's fun. And that's why I'm attracted to people that are somewhat similar but have opposite personalities. Because I'm kind of quiet and kind of bubbly.
Hmm.
Nanny Della will tell you like a TI is. And if you don't know what a TI is, just wait.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, just wait. I'm gonna
She
tell you.
gonna let you know. Okay, so tonight I'm sitting here. I'm making sure that I got all the groups because I had several groups ask me to please share with their group, and I'm trying to make sure that I got everybody's group before I stop because I don't want somebody mad at me.
I know, right? They're gonna be like,
Um,
"You did not share it."
she didn't share with our group. Okay, okay. I think I got everybody.
Real quick,
Now,
I want to make a disclaimer. Hold on.
go ahead.
If my dog start barking, just know I'm gonna keep fighting through. Okay?
We got you. We got you. We got you. Cool. Now let's see. We have some comments. Uh Rob is tagging some people. Good evening, Rob. How are you? Hi, Janet. How are you? Wife of a fantastic professional nanny, a Miss better known as Mitches. How are you? Okay, so tonight we are talking about emergency prepared readiness. Now, are you prepared? I know you got, the diaper bag. I know you got the nannying part down. I know you got the, take them to the parks and museums, let them make choices, all of that good stuff. Yeah, you got all that. You're the good nanny. But what happens when something totally unexpected happens that throws you off kilter? That just kind of like, how? Oh my God! And you don't know whether to cry and panic or to solve the situation or, oh my God, what do I do? I've been there. I've done that. I'm going to let Nanny Chella start because I have some stories that happened to me in Alaska. Oh, Lord. I don't even know. So, okay. So I'll let you start with your first one and then I'll tag my second one.
Okay. So my question I always ask nannies, especially when they're going into the nanny life community here. Are you prepared? Are you truly prepared? For me, I have a lot of stories, but I'll talk about this one instance. Like I went to the bank with my nanny kid, cashed my check, and I had somebody follow me to my nanny house. And I noticed that this car was turning every time I would turn, but I couldn't panic with my nanny kid. And my nanny kid would say, "Hey, you're passing the house." I said, "I know, we just going on a little joyride." Like I had to keep him entertained. And I started I panicked inside, but I couldn't let him know I was panicking. And I quickly called the security that's in our little neighborhood. That every usually depending on where you work at, they have their own little community security guard. So I called him. And I was like, "Hey, I think somebody is following me. I'm on this street or whatever." But I had to talk in kind of code because I don't want my nanny kids to like get scared and freak out and start looking back. Kids love to look back like, "Who are you talking to? Who is that?"
Yes.
So
Yes.
he literally jumped on it. I said, "Look, my nanny kid is in the car with me. I can't freak him out." And this car, literally, he followed me from the bank. He literally did. And so once I called security, he got on it pretty quickly. And I had to text my nanny boss. I mean, my boss, some of my nanny boss, my mom boss, and let her know what was going on. I said, "I don't feel safe going to the house just yet because I don't know if if he comes behind me, what he can come to the house." So I said, "Listen, I'm gonna take the kids to my house for a little bit, and then we'll come back." And she was like, "That is no problem." And for me, it was my first time being followed from the bank, number one, because I didn't know what to do, like with a kid in the car. But I really played it really, really cool. Like I really was like, "Okay, I got this." And then my kids love coming to my house anyway. So it was a plus. They was like, "Oh, we get to play with the dog. We get to come in your house." I was like, "Yeah." Like I had to make it fun for them. Like we're just going to go on another
Yes.
come into my house. So my thing for you guys is like, what happens if you go to the bank and somebody follows you and you're in the car with your nanny kid? Would you basically go to their house? I have had nanny say, "Yeah, I just pull up in the house." No, you don't want to put your nanny family in danger. You don't even want to be in danger yourself with the kid. So that's why, for me, I am so open with my nanny family. And one thing, they have met my family, my actual family, and they know where I live. They've been to my house, and this is our safe zone. So this is our safe zone if I don't feel safe at their house. So that's one thing I encourage you guys to definitely do is talk to your nanny families about your safe zone. Like where do you go if such and such happens? Or where do you go if this happens? So my safe zone, if I don't feel safe coming from a bank, grocery store, and I have somebody following me, I definitely it's my home or either my grandma home. So
Yes. But make sure they're not following you when you go to your home.
I right. That's why I had security on it. No worries. I had security on it. He literally pulled the person over. That was the plus for me. He pulled them over. So right. So that got me time to get on the highway. It take me 20 minutes. So yes.
Good, good, good. So, and if you don't have a safe place to go, you don't have that person is still following you, hit the GPS and find the nearest police station. They will
Yes.
not follow you to the police station.
Nope.
I
Police station,
promise you. You
fire
see
station.
police car, fire station, somewhere that's safe. No, they're not gonna follow you. Now, Walmart, they probably will follow
Oh
you.
yeah, they don't care.
Target, oh, she going shopping. She got money. She came out
Right.
of that bank with some money. Let me go share this money with her.
And let me hold on before anybody get on me. You probably like, why are you cashing your check if the kids? Listen, let me let me do a disclaimer on that. So I have to go to the bank every other week because my kids get allowance. So it's kind of easier for me to just grab their allowance money because their mom usually send me this like, "Hey, you'll get $200 for allowance money for the next 2 weeks." So that's one reason why I was at the bank too. So it wasn't just for me cashing my checks. Because I know some people probably like, "Why is she cashing her
Well,
checks?"
if your parents are cool with it and they allow you to do, some parents don't care because they
Yeah.
know. I've had parents who say, I tell them, okay, I've moved, and they call me, the water company called me and said, we can't turn your water on today because wasn't nobody at home. I was like, are you kidding me? And they were
Mhm.
like, yeah, because anything could be inside, and you could cause a flood in the house or whatever. So I called my nanny parents and said, look, this is the deal. They said, oh, you can do whatever you want to with them. You know, you can take them to the park, take them shopping, and do whatever. Just as long as they safe and you have them back at home. By the time we get home, we good. I'm like, really? Well, all right then. So yeah, I'm gonna take them shopping. No, I don't take advantage of that. I take the kids if we're in the mall, it's because we're going to the Legoland, or we're going to the aquarium that's there, or the Rainforest Cafe, or if the kids need something, because there were times when I had to go buy clothes and shoes for the kids. Yeah, I went to the mall to buy them clothes and shoes. But now we won't just be, going places. But
I
if
don't.
your parents allow it, and I know some other parents, here's the credit card, go, bye, see you. You know, they don't care because they trust you, and you have proven yourself to them that you are trustworthy. And you've been with them for how many years?
I've
I
been with
think
my
you,
family 7 years.
I think you've earned the right to go to the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you, for
I look.
7 years, I think you've earned the right to go to the bank.
I've been everywhere with them. Look, I go to grandma's house. We go traveling. They're like my family. So yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
I just don't want to ever
So
put a child into harm. So
that's right. Now, my question is, what happens if you get hurt on the job?
did.
What's your backup plan? And you can't reach mom or dad because they're in a meeting, or they are out of, in the wilderness, doing army games or whatever, and phone is not working, cell phone reception. What happens? I had that happen to me.
Me too.
Um, the first time was in Alaska.
Mhm.
This eye right here,
Mhm.
the reason y'all see dark circles under my eyes is because they're always running. I have, right, as a result of that accident, I have ocular hypertension. And when the pressure builds up, my eyes run. So I'm always rubbing my eyes. And I had rubbed them for since 1992. So they have developed all these circles under my eyes. Now, I don't mind the circles. I'm just thankful that I can see.
See, I was about to say yes. I'm glad you can
So,
see.
and that my face is not cut up over here.
Mhm.
I had a light covering fall from the ceiling and crash across the left side of my face. The only thing that it cut was my eyeball. It didn't
Wow.
cut anything outside of here. I mean, this thing was like maybe about 10 by 10 inches. It was a square light cover. It's the kind you put up and you screw it in. Well, my oldest son, who was 5 at the time, was playing with a tubing from a barbell. The
Mhm.
weights lifted up, the big long
Yeah.
bar that goes between the weights. Well,
Right. 35 pounds, I think, or 35. One of
yeah,
those.
the cardboard tubing, because it was brand new that it came in. It was wrapped in cardboard tubing. He was playing with it in the top bunk, banging on the head on the ceiling, and I'm like, "It's time for you to sleep. Give me that." So I go, I take it out of his hand, and as I'm taking it, pulling it back and holding it up so he can't reach it because he's just there reaching for it. Kids won't give me my toy. I want my toy. Yeah, it hit the light covering. The light covering. I looked up, and the light covering fell,
Oh
and
my
it
god.
cut my eyeball. I had 3 surgeries in one night. I had a pin in my lower eyelid for 8 weeks because it cut across my tear duct gland, so that had to heal. I had it cut across my pupil in an upside down Y. So I had 21 stitches on my eyeball. I had to wear those big goggles.
Yeah.
My I was thankful that it was only my kids at home at the time because it happened at like 9 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
But you're talking about a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old
Yeah.
in Alaska in January in 10 feet of snow outside. And grateful that the hospital was 2 blocks away because I had to call the paramedics. I had to call 911. My 5-year-old son saw me, jumped out of bed, called 911 for me, and I had um, I had to get the snowsuits on. By the time paramedics got 2 blocks away, I had them dressed. They
Oh,
had snow boots on. They had their snowsuits on. Only thing they were waiting on was to put their coats and hat on. And I let them. The paramedic comes in and he says, "Ma'am, I need to see your eye." My kids are standing right like this in front of me,
right.
and I said, "Can one of you go put their coats on over in the living room?" I'm standing in the kitchen because the kitchen and the living room kind of connected. "Can you go to the living room and put their coats on?" And, "Well, ma'am, I need." I said,
Right.
I had to, I
I
had
have
to tell
to
this young boy. I was like, and he just looking at me like, "I'm trying to help you," and I'm looking at him like, "I am not going to traumatize my kids.
right.
I don't know what you gonna see when you open this because at that point it had become numb, but I could
Oh, wow.
feel the blood coming down my arm. And so I'm holding my arm like this so it my hand like this so it would hit my shirt and they couldn't see it. Now
Oh,
mind you, I had on a white sweatshirt, so that didn't help.
right.
So I'm holding my eye. This guy's telling me I need to see your eye. I said, "I need for you to take my children over there.
Hmm.
One, either you or him, take them over there and get them dressed. I do not know what's behind my eye. My hand, I do not know what they are going to see. I don't know what you're going to see, but I do not want my children traumatized." Now, at the time,
Right.
my husband was 425 miles away playing army games in the field with the military.
Wow.
I'm at home by myself. We've been there all of 2 months. Didn't know hardly anybody. So, and the first thing they tell you when you go to Alaska is keep your kids close to you because they will kidnap them, especially kids under 5. Okay, why all 3 of mine? 5 and under. So I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm scared for my kids. I know my blood pressure is through the roof, but I had to keep calm. Now, mind you, when they got them over there, I moved my hand. The man looks at me and goes, "Now, imagine a grown man doing that, what my children would have done."
Exactly.
They thought it was the funnest thing. We're gonna ride in the ambulance. "Yes, we're gonna get a chance to ride in the ambulance." And I'm like this, "We're gonna ride in the ambulance." "Yes."
Mhm.
I said, "Come on, we're gonna go get mama's eye stitched up." I said, "You remember how you cut your finger and you had to go get stitches?" "Yeah, that hurt." I said, "Yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit." I said, "I'm going to call one of the ladies from our church. We had just joined the church." I said, "I'm going to call her and you're going to spend the night with her 2 grandsons." "Oh, yes." I said, "Yeah, y'all going to have a whole lot of fun." I said, "And they're going to stitch my eye up and give me some medicine so I can rest." I said, "But you all going to go have some fun." And I just pumped it up and amped it up. And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." And so what I didn't know is that I would be in surgery all night long. 3 surgeries. They had to freeze everything, put it back in my eye, and then wait to see if it was going to explode. So, talk about trauma. You never know what's going to happen. You have to be calm under pressure. You have to keep your head about you. You have to make sure, like you said, I can't scare my nanny kids. Now, these are my own children, but I had a home daycare at the time. So, it was like, and
Hmm.
I had to call the parents while I'm waiting on the paramedics to get here. I'm getting them dressed. I'm calling parents, said, "We're not going to be open tomorrow. This just happened. We're not going to be open tomorrow." I had called 6 parents. And the ones I couldn't get, I just like, okay, I left a phone message. So it was, and then I had to call the CDC once I got to the hospital and leave them a message to let them know that all the parents that's going to show up at my house, please report the home daycares on post because we all share. If one of us needed to go to the doctor, we could take our kids to someone who had, if the limit was 6 and somebody had only 3 kids that day, I could take 3 of my kids over there and she could keep my kids. So we were all in a unit together. But my thing is keep yourself safe. You never know what's going to happen and you never know when you are going to need to Keep your wits about you. I think I screamed when it hit my face. And then the first thing I thought about, oh my God, my children are here. So it was like that, a quick, ah! And then, okay, get it together.
Get yourself
You got to make
right.
it
Get
through
yourself
this. So you're going to have to figure out, what if something catastrophic happens like that to me? What am I going to do with these kids? Who am I going to call? I had my book, I had my list on the wall so I could just punch in. I had the numbers on speed dial. That was when you could speed dial people, on the regular phone. That was like
yeah.
in 1990 now. This is not today.
No,
That
today
was
I
when you
really
could speed dial. It just hit
yeah.
that number and pound, and it called that number. I had them all on speed dial. And because I'm sitting here trying to watch the kids with one eye, call with another eye, the same eye, because how can they say another eye, the same eye?
Right.
You have to be ready. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Keep control. Keep your panic instinct under control. After they gone, the kids gone, then you can cry all you want to. Let it all out, because I have done it before. I'm just like shaking, like I'm going into shock, like it happened to me. And it hadn't happened to me. I was just helping somebody, rescuing somebody, but it happened to me. And I'm like, okay, 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 okay. After I found out they were safe and in the ambulance in somebody else's hands to take care of, then I let it go. That's when you can let it go. That's when you can just shove it on off and do whatever you want to do. Until then, you gotta be
You
on
gotta
the
be a big girl or a big
yeah,
guy.
put
Do
on
what you
your
gotta
big girl underwear and come on.
gotta do what you gotta do. I've been in a
All
situation
right.
like that before as well. I actually fell down the steps. You know how kids put things on the steps, and he had
No.
hit the Thomas train on the steps. I did not see it because you know how some houses are made with those deep steps, so you can't really see.
Mm.
So I was coming down. Mom had already told me, "Hey, I'm gonna be on calls all day, and I'm not gonna be able to get, I won't be able to get in touch with her because she had important meetings. Dad, important meetings all day." So, with that being said, this is the thing I'm gonna set you guys up with. As a nanny, when I first interview and I get the job, I ask for all the emergency things. So, both of my parents now, one of them is a doctor and another one does consulting. Well, they both have, one of them have her own personal nurse and the other one has an assistant. What I do, if I can't get in touch with them, what are those other two people? Because those are the two people that work side by side with you. I need their information. I need to know how I'm going to get in contact because I need to say, hey, they need to call me. It's 911. My bosses now, we actually have codes for each other. Like if I text, and most people have the Apple watches or the Samsung watches, we have a code,
Mm-hmm.
and I let them know, like if it's an emergency, put in the code. They don't have time to keep scrolling and reading, but they do have time. If they see a code, okay, I gotta go. Like there's something going on in my home. I need to find out what's going on.
Right.
So when I fell down the steps, I knew I text both parents. I put it in a group message. Hey, I just feel, and I literally hurt my right side, and I was on crutches and everything. And mom boss was like, super, super sad because of course I had that at that time broken something. And for her, she loved the fact that I came up with the system of having that backup emergency because if I didn't have that, they wouldn't have called me back. They would have been like, okay, she should be fine. But just having some type of system works for my family. And I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you try with yours, it should like ask. Don't just say, "Hey, can I call grandma or uncle?" Especially when people live so far apart. But if it's like an extreme emergency, try to figure out if you guys can have a super like a code that they could just look. Okay, if it's a for us, we have like doggy 911. So they know like if something happens to the dog, they need to call me back. I need to go to the vet or whatever the case may be. When it comes to the kid, it's like a boy face on an emoji face. And she knows like, and it's like a red dot behind it. That means it is an emergency. So for us, it works out perfect.
Cool. But you also need to Not only that, you all need to have an evacuation plan from your house,
It's important.
where whether it is a burglar, because they will try to come in. I promise you. When I lived in Georgia and I was staying with my cousin, they kept ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. And we go to the doorbell, nobody's there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we left. We come back. My cousin's texting me at work saying, "Do you have your computer with you?" And I said, "Yeah, why do you need to use it?" She said, "No, somebody broke into the house. They came in through the garage while we weren't home." So that was why they kept ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell, ringing the doorbell. And they stole a lot of stuff, jewelry, as a matter of fact. And they took her computer, they took her husband's computer. I happen to have my computer with me.
Mm-hmm.
But those things do happen. If you're changing a diaper and somebody rings the doorbell and they think you're not at home and they come up in there, what are you gonna do? What's your escape route? Now I know this y'all think, oh, this is so far fetched. This is so but it will happen.
Yeah,
We
but
just happen to not be at home at the time. Because if I'm at somebody else's house, I'm not answering the doorbell. It is in my contract that I am not responsible for answering the doorbell. And if they don't tell me somebody is coming to the house, or they don't tell me that I'm expecting an important package, can you sign for it? And even though it's in my contract that says that if I don't sign for something, it is not my fault. If it goes back to return to sender, it is not my fault. If I don't answer the phone, it's not my responsibility to do all these things that would distract me from the child.
mm-hmm.
Because I can't go to the doorbell if I'm upstairs changing the pamper. I'm not going to leave a naked baby to go
Right.
answer the door. Not going to
No.
happen.
No, with the evacuation.
So
I'm
you
sorry.
need an escape plan.
No, go
What'd
ahead.
you say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You finish. No,
As you need an escape plan, not only for burglar, but what if a fire breaks out? And you don't have to be cooking in order for a fire to break out. Electrical fires happen all the time. The dog can go and flip something and something ignite something, whatever the case may be. I lived in an apartment building and there was a woman who was on oxygen. The guy that was on the same wall, the opposite wall, I don't know how it happened, but maybe it was the fumes, but it went,
oh wow.
and a whole lot of people were displaced. It, when I tell you it made a sound, it shook the ground. That's how bad it was. And whole lot of people were displaced and they had to evacuate immediately. Where's your meeting spot? Who do you call? Where are you going to meet?
Mm-hmm.
You need a safe place to go. We're gonna meet you here. We're gonna go to this spot, to the Starbucks on 8th Street, and we're gonna stay there until we hear from you, till you make a phone call, till you send us the 911 code that says safe to come back home, or whatever the case may be. We're gonna be on at the Starbucks on 8th Street, the one that has the playground, so the kids won't know that this was an emergency evacuation. We're just going to go play.
Yep.
You have to keep your cool. Just saying.
You do. I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit too for my evacuation. That's something that's included with my contract. So one thing that I do when I'm entering a home for, especially like the first week, I ask the parents to go ahead and prepare their evacuation. And it's important for me because, especially like right now, I'm working in a 3 level home, and anything can happen. So we actually had the kids to practice going out of their windows and see like what would happen, because one kid is on one side and the other kid is on the other side, totally different ways. And we actually had them to practice like what would happen. And so one of the kids, his window comes out, but it's like a porch situation there, and he literally, he has a little ladder that he could put down, but he thinks he can just jump off the house, whatever floats your boat. I don't care. I just want you safe. So for
Oh my gosh.
our evacuation is more the kids will meet at the top house at all the way at the top. We're family, like it's a neighborhood cul-de-sac. Everybody's family, so they're our safe people. And from there, we can call mom and dad or whomever we need to call if anything ever happens. But if it's a burglar, what we have is one thing that I love about this particular house is they have a safe door in each one of the kids' room. And inside that safe door, they actually have a plug where they can do their iPad. And it's basically like soundproof. Like they can't hear if the kid was in there. They would not know that a kid, like if you look at the door, you would not see it there. So in that little space, the kids can easily call 911 if something happens. And I even talk to my kids, say, look, if the police officer or I do not come get you, do not come out. Like we had to physically come get you because only I would know where you at, or the police officer because I have told him. So that's another way with kids, and be able to talk with them through anything that happens. And I haven't had nobody come through the house, but I have had somebody to actually like lay on the back porch of one of the neighbors' house, and he came in around like my kids. So I'm like, no. Like I was grabbing the vacuum cleaner, anything I could do. And I told the kids, say, go in your safe spot. I need to, make sure this guy is basically away from the home. And not only that, I call the neighbors. Like I send a message to all the neighbors, like, hey, can you guys, help me out here? I'm here alone. Parents on a date night. Boom. Had no problem. Like they all came out like, what we need to do? Like what's going on? So
Come on, get my back.
right. So that's another thing. You work in the neighborhood, try to get phone numbers too. Be extra friendly because I am very friendly. I want the neighbors to know who I am. Number one, I'm a nanny. I'm a black nanny at that. Sorry to say it, but I'm a black nanny, so I want them to know who I am. And also, so they know, like, hey, I need your numbers. Anything can happen. Like we just had a homeless man not so long ago sleeping on our grass, and so all the neighbors turned the sprinklers on to get him off. And I was home by myself with the kids, and I had him trying to steal the kids' bikes, all types of crazy stuff. So
Wow.
right, so you have to like be ready. And my kids are a little bit older now, so they kind of know what to do. But
Right.
I tell people try to just give them a test run to see what would happen. Like even like my kids don't even take. I said don't take candy from nobody at the park, like none of that stuff. So I give them a test. I'm like, okay, we're gonna pretend we're at the park today, and I'm giving them so I like if you take it, that means you didn't learn anything. I don't want them eating from other kids. Like I just don't know what people got going on in their lives either. So I say always constantly that evacuation, just try it out. Keep trying it out so then they know what to do. Like you don't want them to physically jump out the house, but just so like if something happens, they're like quick, like because kids are all about electronics right now. So you just
Yes.
blow a horn and they should be able to know like, oh, okay, we need to get in position. And I time them. I'm like, let me see how much time it's going to take you to get out that window. And if something is blocking your window, that means we need to clean up. It means we need to figure out another like space for your other stuff to go as well.
Now, I know when I lived in Alaska, I had a home daycare,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to get snowsuit, boots, jacket, hat, gloves, 6 kids. And I don't want nobody to say, once we get all dressed and get ready to go out the door, I gotta go pee.
Oh, I hate that. That's the car rides for us.
Half of that. We got to go. But every time, once a month, or anytime a new child came into our home daycare, we had to do a fire drill. I had a 24-hour daycare, which means that I had to do one in the middle of the night.
Oh wow.
Do you know how hard it is to get kids to go back to sleep? But it was a requirement. Once a month, I had to do one in the middle of the night, especially if I had kids there that, belonged to somebody else. I was temporary legal guardian of 19 kids when I lived in Alaska. And because they were single parents. And I told them, you have got to have a backup. You've got to have, when you go to the field, as they call it, and play your military games, You have got to have somebody that's going to be there for you, that's going to be your backup in case something happens to you out there in the middle of the field.
Right.
I need to know who I need to call. Now, being in Alaska, so far, and most of them are from the lower, what we call the lower 48. I
Hmm.
was from Arkansas. When I got hurt, my oldest two went back to Arkansas with my mom. I had nobody there. And that's why I volunteered to be a temporary legal guardian for all these kids because they needed somewhere to go. They couldn't stay by themselves if mom and dad is in the hospital. It takes at least 24 to 36 hours to get on the plane to go to Alaska. And then you got to stop along the way. So it may take 2 to 3 days for somebody to get there. You can't leave a child alone at home for 2 to 3 days. So
Mm-mm.
make sure, because I've had several families. Uh, the last family that I was named for,
Mhm.
their grandparents were in West Virginia. We're in Texas. That's a
Right.
long way away. And you're trying to get somebody to come and get these kids. They got kids and problems of their own and trying to make arrangements. You got to find a way. Make sure that you have a a backup plan for those children in case something happens to mom and dad. Who's going to be in charge of them? Do you have a copy of a will or a living will or temporary custody papers or something? I worked for dual military. Both of them were in Saudi for 11 days at a time. I mean, at the same time. Dad was on his way back from the mission. Mom was on her way to the mission. They got to spend 4 or 5 days together uh, in the between time of them swapping, but I had the kids for 19 days by myself. I was a temporary legal guardian because mom and dad,
Where?
grandma and grandpa were in over in North Carolina, and I was in Arkansas. So you got to have an emergency plan, whether it's the neighbor that's going to be a temporary guardian, Uncle Joe over here, friend Sally Sue over here. You need to have a plan for those kids because the last thing you want them to do is for social services to come and pick them up and throw them off in the system. And then you have mom and dad don't get well for another 2 or 3 months. And grandma and grandpa, they got to fight the system some kind of way to get the kids. I've
Right.
seen it happen. So have an emergency backup plan for the kids in case something happened to mom and dad. They may not think, oh, I'm fine. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Yep.
I had the police running to the back of me, with a nanny kid in the car. So,
That's
and
my
then
worst.
they wanted to accuse me of kidnapping the kid. I said, is this your child? Do they know that you're with him? I said, you just hit me. I'm
Right.
still in shock. You just hit me. You gonna ask me, is this my child? I said, I haven't had time to call the mom and dad. We just, okay, so 3 seconds is not enough time to call mom and dad, okay?
Like, just
So,
need some time to breathe, okay?
right, you have to have an emergency. I had papers on that child in my car.
Hmm.
I had medical papers. If anything happened to that child and I needed to get him medical help, mom and dad had signed a notarized statement saying that I can get the child help until they can be contacted and make the big decisions. You do what you got to do to keep the child alive.
Hmm.
And when mom and dad come in and make the phone call and say I'm so and so, this is what that then you do what they give permission to do what they got to do. But again, have a plan. Have the papers in your car. Don't leave home without them. Keep a copy I had 3 copies. I had one because I always carried this big shoulder bag. I had one in the
Hmm.
bag, one in the backpack with the kids stuff, one in my glove compartment. So whatever happens, they always go through your glove compartment looking for your
Right.
registration or whatever to find out who you are. Well, I had the papers, I had it labeled in red writing
Hmm.
on top. If these kids are in my car, this is who they are. I had pictures of the kids in uh, with the papers because I was taking care of several different sets of children. So
Mm-hmm.
I had pictures so that you could see who the child was and you can call the right parent. I'm telling you, get these papers and get them now. If you don't have them, get them.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely agree. I agree with that too because I drive my kids around. So that's important for me. Like I always have all the information because you never know. You might get hit. And say for instance, you go into shock. You might be in a real bad car accident where the kids are still like up and you're just kind of out of it.
Mm-hmm.
How they the car, especially when you have younger kids. So it's important to have important information on there. And what I do, I carry around my kids like emergency contact, where it's mom, dad, grandparents, because they're next to call. Then I call the uncle, and those are the only family members they literally have. And literally, they cannot get in contact with them. I even put my parents' numbers on there, like my family, because my family know my nanny family. So if
Right.
anything happened, all the stuff is there, especially when I never know. Like I could be in a real bad car accident. Um, Another thing I wanted to point out too, when it comes to the car situation, I was driving and my car actually went out on me, like in the middle of the road with my kid. I was on my way to go get another their sibling. So I had to call mom. I was freaking out, and she could hear it in my voice. I was like, "Can you please call another mom to pick up the kid?" I'm gonna be late. She was like, she was like, Chella. She like literally talked me through it. She was like, Chella, just stay calm. And guess what? This awesome nanny had stuff in my car to keep him occupied. I was like, well, let's play some games. We could play I Spy. I had like little Legos in the car for him, coloring stuff. He was like, when mama coming? I was like, she's coming, but let's keep playing. I had to keep him occupied with stuff like that. But my boss talked me through it. She was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So she picked us up off the side of the road. And she literally was like, okay, you got it, you got it, you got it. So it's like one thing I tell you guys to always have some activities in the car just in case. You just never know. Like if your car stall or you run out of gas, please don't run out of gas. Get gas before you go to work. However, if anything can happen to your car, just have um, age appropriate activities for them.
Yes. Life of a
Oh,
Fantastic Nanny, Professional Nanny says, have basically always have your phone in your pants pocket. I
yes.
wear scrubs. I keep my phones in my pockets because if somebody hits you, your phone becomes a missile and it goes pew and it's
Mm-hmm.
over. It's either in the back, way in the back of the car, and you can't get to it, or his phone under the seat and you can't reach it,
See,
or it's on the passenger side. It has flown somehow. It got from over in the little console to all the way over in the very corner, all the way
right.
up where the feet rest is, where the top the feet go up in on the passenger side, where you just like you would have to literally take your seatbelt off and crawl across there to get your phone. Keep it in your pocket. I totally agree.
Yes, I keep
We had
all
go
the
ahead.
time. And that's like I keep my
Uh,
pocket with me.
Emilia Irwin says, it's easy to get into a false sense of security. We have such an immense responsibility, essential to be prepared. Thank you for continuing to help equip the nanny community with wisdom. You're
Mhm.
welcome, Emilia. Thank you
Yes,
for
yo.
your comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's see. I think I saw another page says, um, have a
Oh,
safe word. Exactly. I was getting to that, but thank you very much. Have a safe word that kids know to ask before they go with anyone so they know you sent them.
yes. I
Exactly.
have a safe word. I even
Yes, exactly.
before you get into it, Angela, like I have even when I'm out in public with my kids, I don't call them by their names. So it, for me to call them by their name, they know it's an emergency for me. I call them by their initials, and because I just don't want somebody calling my kid's name when we're out. It's just like
Yes.
mom was like, why? Because she didn't understand. Like even on the book bags, I said don't put their names on there because we're not carrying that. Because they could be like, oh, your nanny told us or your mom told us. They just could say mom or dad, and kids like, okay. No, you no. So no. But yes, I have a safe word for my nanny kids. For anything, like even when we're in their little safe house, a little safe little room, it's the safe word that goes with that as well. We have a safe word for everything. And it's the same thing, but we have a safe word.
Yeah, have a safe word, and you make sure it's something that your kids can remember.
Yes.
Cause and practice it. What's our safe word? We're going to the park. What's our safe word? We're going to
Hmm.
this museum. What's our safe word? If I didn't send, if I didn't, if somebody comes up to you and they want to take you saying that I sent you, what's our safe word? If they
Right.
don't say the safe word, if they beat around the bush and try to guess, do not
Just scream.
run, Forrest, run.
One of my kids, my oldest kid, have a whistle on her thing. I said, "Blow the whistle, girl. Do what you gotta do."
Let's see. Nanny Kim says it's
Girl.
in my contract that I'm not supposed to release the child to anyone without seeing their ID. If anything were to happen to them and the person who's receiving, I guess, the child isn't the designated proxy. Okay, so yeah, that's in my contract too. And I tell the parents, I said, I don't care if I seen your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. I said, there's too many impersonations, too many impersonators. I don't care if I've seen them 50 times before. I'm gonna ask for some ID. And they may think I'm crazy, but it's for the safety of your child.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have ID, guess what? They ain't going away.
I
I will
totally.
take them home with me, sleep overnight, and bring them back to your house when you get home. But they ain't going with them because you didn't say grandma and grandpa are coming to pick them up, first of
Mm-hmm.
all. And I don't know the relationship that you have with grandma and grandpa at that point in time. You and grandma and grandpa may be, on the outs and they trying to, because it's some cray people out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to add to that problem. I'm just saying.
Right. I definitely hold on. I definitely agree with you, Nanny Kim. One thing that I do have is like, especially like my nanny kids, their mom usually have their friends and stuff that come over, or the mom come over. I don't even do play dates like that anyway. Tell you guys that all the time. Even when it comes to play dates, I need to know who's coming over, what time, what parent picking up, what's the parent name. Their parents need to text me. Like I want to know everything from top to bottom. And my mom boss, she actually forgot that one day my nanny kid was not coming home. So I started panicking, like in the inside. And she's like, "Oh, I totally forgot." I said, "That's something that you can never forget. And you have to be vocal about those things too, because they need to know that you really care for their kids." So
Yes.
I want, like, you have to let them know, like, hey, please make sure that you do that. And also, I want to talk about on the play date situation. I had an incident where my mom boss gave me an address where my kid was supposed to be at. I went to the house, nobody answered. And at this point, it had been over an hour. And I was like, nah, something is wrong. So I'm calling mom boss. And that's one reason why when my kids are on play dates, I want the parents' phone number so I can get in contact with them myself. Not just that they're talking, that side talk, that I need my talking with the parents.
Yes.
And that the situation, how the kids have the directories and they have where they live and stuff like that. So that's what my boss
Mm-hmm.
was going by. Well, guess what? That family had moved into a new home on the other side of town. I had no clue. My boss had no clue. And I said, see, this is the reason why communication is so important. You should have had mom,
Yes.
hey, let me verify that this is your address. I'm going to somebody else's house, knocking on the door, and they're looking at me like, who are you? I said, I'm coming to pick up my kid. And they was just like, I said, I introduced myself. And it was like, we don't even have kids. And I had to show them the directory because I didn't want them to call the police on me. I was like, hey, my kid was supposed to come here. And I'm calling the mom freaking out. Like, and like I said, she's a doctor. I'm like, hey, where's my kid? Like, I'm now I'm nervous. Like,
I don't play. I would have been too.
right. So she was like, what? She's like, what do you mean? I had to tell her. She's like, well, let me reach out to mom. So once we got home, we had to talk about it. I was like, of course I'm not mad, but in my mind, your kids are definitely my kids when it's my time. When I'm on that clock, those are my children. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to put it in a group text if you need to. So I can say, hey, I'm picking up. Like, this is your address. And mom had no clue because at this point she had fed my kid because she was waiting on mom to answer too. So make sure you
Hello.
guys have that talk with your parents too. Like, or parents talk to your nannies about every little thing. Like, you have to have paperwork when you're releasing these kids. I don't release them to anybody. Like, if they say they're going after school, I'm like, what did mama at? Let me text my boss.
Mm.
Don't just say, oh, well, my mom boss, no. Because I text my mom boss, like, hey, is it okay? If she doesn't answer, that means she's busy and you're not going, well, I'll drop you off at their house if she says okay. But I don't know you, so I'm very overprotective of my kids.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, it starts at home.
Right,
My boys always, Mama, can I go to my friend's house? I don't know who at that house. I don't know what
right.
they're doing. Your friends can come to your house. They can
Mm-hmm.
come over here because I know for sure what's going on in my house. But I'm not sending you to somebody else's house and they either smoking or drinking or cursing up a storm and drug trafficking and everything.
And
No, you are not going to their house.
you would be so
And
surprised.
I said, I need to talk to the parent. I said, you can't just so and so ask me to come to his house. No, because you don't know. Mamas get a little cray cray when why did you invite that person over here? What are you doing about it? I
I
don't
know.
want my kids going somewhere that they are not welcome.
Exactly.
And I don't want, my kids, they know their friends are always welcome in my house. Your friend coming to my house, I said, hold up, we're going to stop right here at the front door. Before you cross the threshold, call your
Mm,
mama.
right,
I don't mind you being here, but you finna call your mama.
right,
You finna tell your mama where you are, and I'm gonna talk to your mama, your dad, or somebody that's in charge of you so that they know where you are, what type of home you are in, and what is expected of you. And
right.
I will let them know when I'm sending you back home. My children will be walking them home before dark at dark o'clock, something o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be home by this time. I will
Right,
stop them and let them know. Is there anything that your child is allergic to? Because my children love snacks. Is there anything that your child is allergic to or you don't want them to have? Is there
right.
anything that you don't want them to play? Because I know they don't want to play video games. I ask questions
Yeah,
because I am a parent. I am a nanny. I take care of kids. This is my job. This is my life. And I don't want no child going back and saying, she did this. Don't have the police at my house.
right.
Saying that I did something to your child when I asked you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to protect yourself when people are coming to your house. When your kids' friend, your children's friends are coming to your house. You have to
Right.
be protective of yourself. You have to be protect. I was protecting my kids. I have males, all three of them, males. You
Mm-hmm.
ain't going nowhere without mama knowing where you are, who you with, and do I approve of what? No, you can't go in that house.
Yes.
No, they sitting out on the front porch smoking, and it smell kind of funny. Nope, you're not going up in there.
Yeah, I'm funny with my nanny kids like that too. I do not. I and my boss tell me she's like, you're like a hound dog. Like I'm like, no, I want to go in the house. I want to see what's going on. Are they clean? Because they're not clean. We're not going. Nope. And it's just me being overprotective. Sorry, I'm an overprotective
Me
nanny,
too.
and I just want to make sure that when I send my kids here, they're first of all they know to be well behaved. I always tell them, don't embarrass me. I will embarrass you first. That's just my motto for them. Don't nobody steal that,
I
okay?
think that's the mama mantra.
Listen, you're in a I'm so, listen, if you're in a black household, you have heard it before. My mom would tell me, okay, go ahead and embarrass me if you want to. And she gave me the eye. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
My
My
mama used to say, "Don't start none, won't be none."
she said it all the time too.
I was like,
Um,
"Okay, mama."
Also, guys, when you are having play dates, and since you have to drive them around, you need to be careful about driving other people's kids around. Like my kids are, I have to make sure they're on my insurance, and if I have to take a friend home, I let them know, hey, mom will bring that person home or dad will. I just don't feel safe and comfortable because my rules in my car applies to me and my kids. They know how I am, and I just don't want any problems. And believe me, I've had my share of problems with them driving, with me driving the kids. So I just want to be very careful. Be careful when you drive these kids around. And also, if you have to drive them around, you need to make sure you get some type of, even if it's written documentation or email, text saying, hey, it is okay for you to take such and such home at this time. Like it needs to be stated. Because, like you said, if you get stopped and something happened, you don't want all those questions. Like it's too much going on right now, especially so you just don't want anything going like
Yes.
happen. So just make sure that is documentation for you to have as well.
Yes. And especially NCSs, you work at night. I know I go to work, some work from 7 to 7, some work
Mm-hmm.
from 8 to 8, some work from 9 to 7, some work from 10 to 7. I work from 11 to 7 sometimes. It depends on what time. Be very diligent. Be very wary about your surroundings. Have a flashlight on your keychain. They make little ones for your keychain. I know it may be cumbersome, but it will save your life. I know that I almost stepped on a snake one time in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
getting out of, because I had to be at work at 9 o'clock. I get out of the car and I flash the light down, and he just creeping past my car. I was like, "Oh Jesus!" I slammed the door. Like, and I sent Mama a text message. I'll be in a few minutes. There's a snake circling my car. Dad came out with his flashlight and saw it. It was still right beside my door. And
Mm-hmm.
he got the rake and killed it, the hoe, whatever it was, some kind of garden tool. He
It was a
killed it.
whole couple things. Yeah, they do those.
Yeah. But it was a little pygmy rattlesnake, and they are highly poisonous. They're 3 times as poisonous as a regular rattlesnake. I'm not trying to die. I love your babies, but I'm not trying to die. So I will be in when the snake stops circling around my
Right.
car. So have a flashlight. And it's not just about snakes, it's about people. Be aware of what's around you. My husband is a Army Ranger. And when I tell you there are more weapons in my house that look like just regular decorations, you will never know. And you can pull this comes out and it's a knife. That comes out whoosh, and it's a wand. Trust me, you
I
have
have
no clue how many things are around my house. So if you come in my house and you see, oh, that's so pretty, isn't it though?
right.
You don't know.
I literally
You don't know.
my comb. I have a comb as a knife. I mean, I got weapons too, so I have license. By the way, guys, I have a license to carry.
Yes,
I know for real.
yes. And see, I used to be on the rifle team when I was in ROTC.
Hmm.
So don't put a I and I was the number one person on the team. My grandfather taught me how to shoot because he used to go hunting at 12 years old. Now I hated the kickback. He said, "All right, daughter, now it's gonna kick back on your shoulder. So you
Right.
hold steady. You
Throwing
be
it right
all
there in
right."
the pack.
That ooh, good
Yeah,
Lord.
I
The
see.
first time I
Short
thought
and
my
dog.
arm had popped out. I
Yeah.
thought I lost my arm. I was looking around on the ground. Is my arm down there? When that thing hit my shoulder, you don't expect it. But
Right.
I
You
got
don't.
used to it. And I
And
learned how to
it's a whole.
handle that rifle. So by the time I got to college, I was on the rifle team in ROTC. Couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So
told you.
be very aware of your surroundings. Have there is a this thing called a Cubaton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shoot, I don't have my person here, but I would show it to you. It's on. You can buy it on Walmart. It's like three for like $8 or $9.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Keep talking, Nanny Chella, because this is worth going to get. Keep talking.
But we're gonna
I'll be
talk
right
about
back.
that situation. What do you do if you are in emergency at the playground? Like a lot of people don't carry first aid kits. They don't carry anything. They just come to the park. Well, for me, inside of my car, I keep a first aid kit. Just never know what's gonna happen. And it's stuff with so much stuff. And I kind of go in there often just to make sure like things are like in its place where it needs to be, or just updates the new stuff. And some people don't know what to do. Like if your kid falls down, what would you do at the playground? You would just let them bleed to death. I mean, I hope you don't. But what would you do if your kid literally fell at the park with no water? Now, mind you, we have a couple of parks here in Georgia where we don't have a restroom in our parks. We don't have a water fountain. So, what would be the next best thing to do? Because I've seen nannies actually just run home, and I'm like, no, you need to have some type of first aid kit for yourself, and you need to have band-aids. You need to have a water bottle. Just keep a water bottle in there and just say, hey, let me rinse it off for you. And because kids don't really want to leave the playground, right? And I don't really want to leave either because I want them to stay out my face. But just have your stuff prepared at the playground. And even like with the extra snacks, I mean, you might be like, come on, come on, come on. Just keep everything with you, like in like a little bag. It's not gonna hurt you. But do you guys really know what to do if your kids get hurt on a swing? I actually had a kid that on the swing he wrapped his arm around and his arm got stuck, like it was pinching his skin, and I was like, why me? But I had parents on that playground. They said you didn't even budge. I was like, listen, I got a 3-year-old. I don't have time to be doing all that. I had to get his arm. I said, look, this is gonna hurt, but we're gonna get through it. And you can scream as loud as you want to, and it's okay. And literally, it had took like some of his skin off. It was so bad he was bleeding. But if I didn't have a first aid kit, it was no moms there that had anything. They didn't have nothing, not even diaper bags. I was like, on a day like this, somebody would have a diaper. I could put a diaper around it until I get home. But for me to have that, it literally goes a long way in my nanny career, because a lot of parents see that like, okay, you're definitely nanny ready. You're ready for any type of emergency. So
Yes.
it's a plus for you guys.
And in that emergency bag, uh, again, when I lived in Alaska, we didn't have just the little, the little kit, the little cute little kit that you can buy at Walmart for $2 or $3. No,
I got a huge
no.
pouch.
We're talking about a shoebox style, those little plastic shoe boxes that you
I was looking over
put
here to
them
see
on.
if I could take it right
Um,
here.
the shoe boxes.
Hmm.
So we, when I took my first aid class in Alaska, now whew, it's a totally different class than the lower 48 because there's so many different things. They have wild animals. They have caribou. They have bears. They have moose. They have all these. The military post is built in the middle of the environment where all of these, how they say you can uh you can take the girl out of the city, but you can't take the city. You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. Well,
Hmm.
you can put a city in their environment, but they gonna come because that's their territory. We live here too, so you can't take it away from them. I've saved a woman from a moose before, but
Hmm.
our first aid kits, they taught us how to cut a little twin size sheet to make a tourniquet, to make a sling, to make a bandage. You got to have plenty of gauze because if something bites you and it starts bleeding, you can't. Or if you get stabbed with something, you in the woods and something pops up and stabs you, you can't pull it out. You got to keep rubbing it, putting the gauze on there to keep it in place until help comes. You got to be survival ready. You got to survive the frostbite, the
Hmm.
cold. It's a totally different first aid class there. I wish
I'm
everybody could go there and take it. I promise you, you will come back and you'll be like, I didn't know what I didn't know.
right. I
And
got my.
have a ice pack. You can go to the store. And I'm not talking about a regular ice pack. There is a chemically induced ice pack where you pop the middle and it immediately freezes all these little whatever the chemicals come out, and it's an ice pack. Keep one in your first aid kit, which means that you're gonna have to expand past this little bit of, you know, 2x3,
Yeah,
you know,
that's not gonna work.
with the little kitty band-aids in them that like this big. If you get hurt, you're gonna need some about this big, that wide, which means you're gonna have some gauze and have plenty in there. So back to the Kubaton. This thing is mirrored. So if I go the wrong way, I'm gonna show it to you. It's a Kubaton.
Okay.
As you notice, it has a point on the end. Let me turn it that way. Well, it's still catching the light. It has a point right there.
Okay.
Now, if somebody comes up behind you, this little point, if you put it right here behind the ear, it impress, it hurts. You
Oh
can put
wow.
it right here. You can cut the air off right there. You can just, if they're behind you, just go like this. You can catch an eye, the nose. It is heavy.
Oh
Even if you
wow.
just whack like this thing is heavy. If you hit yourself, I have accidentally been swinging it and hit myself,
Oh my goodness.
whole bruise face. And I
Right.
wasn't even swinging it hard. I'm just, let me stop because it'll come right
No,
around and hit me now.
because I don't want you on live.
But
They be like, Chella, what happened? I'm like,
yes,
listen.
and also if somebody grabs you, if you put it right here on that bone right there and just apply pressure, I promise you they'll let you go.
Right.
There are
That's
so
why.
many ways that you can use this little thing. It's small, and people think, "Oh, that's just a keychain." It's a keychain. Yeah. That's what it is. Mess with me here. I
That's
ain't
why
playing.
my nanny friends was so like they were laughing at me because they was like, "You taking defense classes, self defense classes?" Yes, I'm in other people.
Yes, you need it.
I'm in other people's homes. Like if I can't get like with my situation, like I said, I am licensed to shoot, so I do carry at work. I don't carry. It's not in the car with the kids, and nothing like that. But they have guns in the home as well. But just say, for instance, somebody's in the house waiting for us, and I don't know that they're waiting, and I'm like, no, I want to know what I could do. If I tell my kids, hey, go in your place, I want to make sure that I can protect myself as well. So that's one thing that's a plus about me as a nanny. A fun, cool fact.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know. They like, you really be doing it? I'm like, yeah, I want to know that. I'm going to hurt you because you're not going to hurt my babies. That's important for me.
My husband always says there ain't gonna be two crime scenes. If it's going down, it's gonna go down right here in front of everybody. You're not gonna
Right.
drag me off to somewhere. Somebody gonna die before we leave this place right here.
Right.
And hope
Exactly.
that, and I'm praying it ain't gonna be me.
Right. That's why I say,
So don't let them drag you nowhere.
yes, that's why I say stay current with
Stay,
certain.
stay.
Okay.
There is so much. There's so much more emergency stuff. We're gonna have to come and do part 2 on this one
Yeah,
because
it's a
it's so
lot.
many other.
It's
Either that
definitely a
or we're
lot.
gonna do a class.
Okay. Like I said,
You're looking at me like, well,
it is definitely a lot of emergencies. Like I said, I've been through the whole car situation, park situations, and there's so much other stuff that can happen at the park that you just don't know. Like, and it ain't even like emergencies could be anything. Like, what if you forget your diaper bag and your kid poop? Like, that's an emergency right there for you. Like, do you know
yes,
what?
a blowout.
Yeah, do
What
you
do
know what
you
to do?
do?
Right, because you're gonna be like, you don't want that kid to go back in the car, so what you gonna do? This is why it's important
Mm-hmm.
to make sure you always ready. That's an emergency as well. Um,
Yes,
so much to emergencies, and it's all about the communication that you do have with your nanny families. So you might think like nothing like this gonna ever happen. People see me with these kids, they don't care about nothing. Especially when you have kids, they think that's the best time to distract you. Like I don't even let people talk to me. Like my nanny kids would tell them, like, "Do you know that person?" I'm like, "No, you're right. I shouldn't talk. Have a great day." Like I just move. I keep it moving. My kids will not let me talk to people because I taught them, "Don't talk to strangers. We don't know them. Who are?"
oh.
And and that's why I hate. I legit hate this. I hate when parents come talk to the kids and not they don't see us basically. Like that's an emergency threat to me because I don't know who you are, and you just come and talk to my kids like, oh, I know the mom, and I'm like, who are you? My name is Chella. I'm the nanny. Like, and they're like, oh, I know the mom. Okay, well, who's my mom? Who's my mom boss? Cause I don't know you, so I get on defense mode with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell parents, please stop. Please stop talking to the kids. Even though you know the kids, introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm such and such. I know your boss. The kids go to school together, or whatever the case may be. Because you just never know.
And it may ease my mind, but it ain't gonna ease my stance.
Right. I literally be like,
Know
I,
this.
I text my boss. I was like, so I don't like this mom. She didn't even speak to me. We're not talking to her no more. But my boss, but one thing I love about my boss, she will check a parent for me. She like, listen, hey, you made my nanny feel uncomfortable. So that's
That's a good boss.
communication. Communication. So let me just recap a little bit. You got to get your evacuations. When you go back to work tomorrow, you need to say, hey, I know you guys always want to talk about contracts and getting your money. Let's talk about, can you save these kids' lives? You know, like I said, another emergency, but we'll talk about this on part two. I think I had a
Yes.
kid that literally swallowed pennies, and I was upstairs changing the baby and putting her to bed. So a lot of people would probably frantic and don't know the sound of a choking child. I had
Mm-hmm.
to put that baby down, and that baby screamed and screamed, but I had to save her brother's life. Like it was that important. So a lot of nannies don't know what to do. They never have taken a choking class. So those are the things that might my quote I tell people, nanny up. This is your opportunity to nanny up. That means level up. Take more classes. CPR and first aid, okay, great. You take these, you go to our international training day classes, great. But find other classes that will help you along the way in your nanny journal.
Yes. Yes. Woo. Yes.
It's
And some
a
more.
lot.
Yes. It
It's a
is
lot.
a lot to learn. It is a lot to take in 1 hour and
It
11
is.
minutes. But let me tell you all, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do a part two.
I don't know
It'll
when.
probably it'll probably be sometime in July sometime because yeah, because I'm booked
Yeah, she
three
got
and
me. Said, I'm on vacation. That's why I was like, let me look. I'm on vacation right now.
well it may be in August then. Right
Oh
before
no,
school starts.
I'm on vacation in July too. I'm on the 2 weeks vacation, so we can do something in July.
Okay. Well we'll work it out. We'll come
Right.
back and give you some more give you some more tips because I'm sure that another hour this is like a to hit everything that
It's a
could
lot.
possibly happen. It is a lot. Because when I tell you Alaska was my learning and training ground for a lot of stuff that helped me throughout my nanny career. And I was like 21, 24, 25 when I lived in Alaska. It took me when I mm, having a
Yeah.
home daycare, living in all that snow, seeing things that could happen. It, oh my gosh, the stories I could tell you. You just need. Okay, I guess that's our cue.
No, he's watching TV. That's the thing. He watches TV, y'all. My dog is a little
What?
slow. If he sees the dogs on TV, he act really crazy. Just ignore him. Just talking.
I
Um,
love it.
I,
I love it.
I do want to point out some things to you guys too. Just to keep in your nanny car, well, just your car personally. Make sure you guys always have extra changing clothes. You just never know when your mom boss or dad boss may not come home. So you need those clothes. A lot of nannies are like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, you definitely need to do that. Like, keep some extra clothes in the car.
Yes, I have my little suitcase. My little blue suitcase is in my clothes, underwear, soap,
Yes. You just need
deodorant, the whole shebang.
any emergency. You
And
definitely
women,
yes. I
okay,
well,
personal items and underwear, plenty of them because you never know when it's gonna be. You can get out and get some of that. Yeah, all
yeah.
that.
Oh, I hate telling my dad, boss, I gotta go home. I got an emergency. So I have learned after years to just make sure like those is like I'm just giving y'all like little tips because a lot of people think like, why am I bringing clothes? I'm not spending night at their house. You just never know. Like I said, I work for a doctor. I never know if she's gonna come home on time. She might get caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Dad may be on
Mm-hmm.
vacation, not on vacation, but out the country or out of state, handling his business. So it's just me. So you just never know. Like, just be prepared. Even though you think you like, oh, I got it, I'm prepared. You're never prepared. Like, let me tell you that right now, because I thought I was prepared when the car broke down. I was like, come pick me up. But I played cool. I was like, yeah, I got it. So yeah, like you just never gonna really be prepared. But hopefully this can help somebody. And of course, if you guys have any questions, if you want me to talk about something in part 2, I would definitely do that too.
Kimberly says, and
Yes,
plastic gloves.
I'm looking at them. And it's on like my eye on it, so I couldn't get the box. But I have wet wipes, antibacterial wipes,
Mm-hmm.
gloves. I have my hand sanitizer. That's important.
Scissors, not the little
It,
bitty ones. Get
how
some
you
big man. I had to cut a seat belt. If I had them little bitty scissors, me and the movie,
they ain't nothing.
she would not have survived the moves if I had to have them little bitty scissors trying to cut her out of that seat belt. Get you some big scissors.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
never know. You may have to cut clothes. You may have to cut. You don't know what you got to cut up, as long as it ain't the people. You got to cut up some stuff in order to save a life. You never know. Get you a big pair of scissors and make sure they're sharp.
yeah, definitely. I don't have.
Yeah.
I had to stop using scissors in the car because the kids. Oh Jesus!
Yes.
I had one kid that liked to cut too much, and I was just like, "You can't get in my bag. I need you. I need to put this back in the trunk. Like I just can't trust you." Like I'm trying to look. I literally everything is sitting on top of my iPad, so I'm like looking. But yeah, I got everything. No worries. I got it, girl. I got
Yes. Yes. And Emily said, "Yay, part two."
it. Yay. I mean, I'm here for it. Like, if you guys, like I said, if you guys need any advice, I'm here. You can always follow me on IG, Nanny Chella. My Facebook is Nanny Chella as well. I'm
Yes.
here to
And
answer.
follow her.
I'm here to
Follow
answer.
her.
Yes, follow me.
Follow
I,
her on
also,
on
hold on.
on.
I have another announcement before we leave. I
All right, church announcements.
okay, so listen. I I have some nanny up kits. I made some nanny up kits to get you prepared for life, okay? Life. Life survival kits is really
Yes.
so if you go on my IG, like, comment, hey girl, hey. Now comment nanny up and follow me of course. I'm gonna do a raffle soon, and I'm gonna give the first person that wins. They're gonna get my nanny up kits, and they got some good stuff in it. Y'all gonna need it. Believe me, you're gonna.
Oh, I want a nanny up kit.
Look, you're gonna be telling your
Mm.
nanny friends, girl, I'm nannying up.
Girl, you better check out this. See, I'm gonna have to partner with you to,
You got
for
to talk
some
about it.
nanny up kits. Yes, ma'am. When
Yes,
we do these retreats next year, we go Nanny Chella. I'm hitting you up. Now, let me write this down. Nanny up kits from Nanny Chella.
I'm
Let me
always
write this down. Let me see. I brought my notebook with me. Nanny up kits. I got
over
to write this
here,
down.
but I'm writing nothing down. Yes, I like I said, I am doing some nanny up kids. I'm preparing a lot of nannies out there, especially those first year nannies. They really don't know what to expect or what to do.
Yes.
I'm definitely I want everybody to be prepared. I want you guys to level up and be that top notch nanny that you can be. I know it's kind of hard out here, but I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah. Okay. So now I got some church announcements. On Thursday.
No, ma'am. On Wednesday.
Wait. I'm getting to you. Can I do me first?
Go ahead.
Please. I'm getting to that. I got it all written down over here. I got all the church announcements written down.
Okay,
Now,
I'm ready. You know when I'm
on Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m., the nanny hookup, which is Ask the Nanny, and Nanny Shards. We are on Instagram. And this week we are going to be talking about outside relatives that come to visit. Some of us like them, some of us don't. We're going to be
Mhm.
talking about outside relatives. I see that look on your face, Nanny Chella. Now, also
Oh,
Thursday night,
mhm.
Thursday night at from 7 to 8. Sign up at on Ask the Nanny events page. I am having a mentoring group, a nanny mentoring group. It only costs $5, and that's to help facilitate the Zoom part of this. I'm having a mentoring group Thursday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So look on Ask the Nanny page, look on the events. And while you're there, Saturday morning, I'm having a interview workshop. I've had several people ask me about interviews. Can you help me with an interview? I'm going to an interview. I need some questions. I need some this. We're having an interview workshop on Saturday morning. We're doing mock interviews. We're doing the hard questions. We're doing contracts. We're doing things that you should be asking your parents instead
Mhm.
of just like sitting there and they ask you, "Do you have any questions?" No.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And like Nanny Chella said, period, poo.
Yep. I was gonna say it at the end. Yes.
I love
Every
that has
time.
been stuck in my head since the very first time I heard you say it. I'm talking to somebody else there. I said, period, poo. I said, oh, Nanny Chella, you must be talking about me.
Yes, definitely.
But that is her saying. And she's got me hooked on it. But Thursday night, Saturday morning, go and sign up. Ask the Nanny events page. Now, tomorrow night, which is Tuesday, U.S. Nanny Association. Meet us there at for on our page. We have a webinar. We have webinars every Tuesday night. Okay, U.S. Nanny Association. Go to our association page. Meet us there at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Now, on Wednesday, I, gone girl. I toss my hair back, check my nails. Tell me how you feeling.
Well, on Wednesday, you can meet me on my IG because I'm going to be hosting it this time because Crystal did it.
Okay.
It's going to be the Nanny Broker and I don't know what we're talking about yet. We don't think of our stuff until like an hour before time, but we're going to be on there. Y'all going to have a great time. Come see me.
Always.
Hang
Always.
out. We call it's like we be telling people to come to the cookout because people
Yes.
come with questions, whatever questions you may have, we always answer. We shout you out. And on Friday, and I'm sorry, that's at 6 p.m. Right? Yeah, 6 p.m.
6
Yeah, 6
p.m.
yeah, 6 p.m.
Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern
I,
time. Eastern time. Eastern time.
oh,
That's
and also on Friday, we're having a game night. So if you go to my IG or the Nanny Broker IG, the link is in the bio. So this Friday, we're gonna have some nanny game nights, and I hope to see some.
yes.
So excited about it because it's our first game night. So I'm nervous.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited. I still can't believe I won. I'm I'm gonna be telling that story
Yes,
forever because I never win anything.
she
I
won
cannot
last
believe I won.
in the nanny game. She won last time.
Yeah,
She did
look at
all
her.
right.
Don't
I
hate.
think she was cheating. She was cheating. Hold on.
Don't hate. It was my first time. Well, my second. Well, my time and a half. I caught the last bit of the one before that, but I actually what? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna shut up about that.
Patsy said, "Oh,
But
this is the topic. I have
also 15 a.m. Eastern time. No, yeah, Thursday. The goat. The is it the
the goat show.
nanny posse? The goat story time.
Oh, goat
She
story time.
has
Okay.
3 little billy goats, and they do a story time on Thursday. Nanny posse. Check her out. It's
Tag
awesome.
me and her because I don't. I do I follow? I don't know if I follow her or no. Or
She
if I do, if I do,
I will
She on
tag
Facebook?
you. She's on Facebook and she's on IG too.
Okay, yeah, tag me because
So
I love market too.
yeah, the nanny posse. Yeah, she has these. I thought it is the cutest thing. These little goats, and she's the inside or outside, wherever they going. The little goats are there, and they are the cutest things.
Oh,
I never thought I'd fall in love with a goat, but they are too cute.
they're
So,
cute.
they are goats, but they are too
See?
cute. So follow her, and then not this Friday, but next Friday,
Okay.
um, Nanny Kim on the go and Mr.
And this,
Chaz
I got to
have
get me
their
some.
IG at 7:30 p.m. on Instagram. But guess what? You get a preview because they're gonna be with me next Monday here on Ask the Nanny.
I gotta write too much stuff down.
Uh,
See, we always
Girl,
busy. Like
there's
Nanny,
always something going on. I'm always busy.
right?
And next Monday, Nanny Kim on the go. Mr. Chaz. If you don't haven't checked him out, check
He,
out TikTok and look up Mr. Chaz.
he's awesome.
The first time I saw him, I had to close my eyes and listen to what he was saying because the TikTok thing was messing with my eyes. Y'all know my eye is hurt. And so when I looked at him, I was like, okay, hold on, close your eyes. And I listened to what he had to say, and it was awesome. And then I tried to look at it again because that it was too many moving parts and my brain was not processing it because I was tired and my eye was tired at the time. So I had to stop because, you know, with a weak eye, you got one looking forward and this one just kind of going like, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I had to close my eyes because it wasn't working for me. But I love Mr. Chaz.
I love
I've gotten used to it now.
him.
But when he is dropping knowledge about those kids, I'm
He did not
telling you,
play.
he does not play. And he's offering classes too. So y'all meet me here next Monday. Same time, same place, and we will see Nanny Kim on the go. And Mr. Chaz is the Chaz and Nanny Kim way. That's what it's called. So meet me here. Now, also, one last thing. The Parent Nanny Conference. U.S. Nanny Association is having a Parent Nanny Conference. The early bird special ends on July the 1st. And it's only $125 and you got over 40 speakers.
Oh
And it's
wow.
on demand and you get
Hmm.
to flip through and do it. And you get certificates. Nanny Chella said nanny up. Okay.
This is your
Nanny up,
time.
nannies.
Like,
This
let
is
me.
your time to nanny up. I'm telling you.
I need to pay for
Where
this
else
too.
are you going to find 50 different and you get a whole week to watch it
Oh.
from September the 18th through September the 25th. We talked about it, discussed it. Anyway, you're going to have that many speakers, you're going to be sitting in front of the TV all, the whole weekend. We don't want to ruin your eyes,
Hmm.
educated and get knowledge. And so we decided to run the whole week of National Nanny Recognition Week. I know you all know, if you don't know when that is, whoop, whoop, it's September. So we're gonna have the conference that week. There are so many speakers. Your counterpart,
I
Crystal,
know.
the nanny broker, she's gonna be talking about branding and uh, when grief becomes a family affair. I think that's the name of it. I will
Okay.
be speaking. Um, we have Glenda Probst that's going to be there. We have Kimberly, Nanny Kim on the go was talking. Uh,
Okay.
we have Nanny Shars is going to be there. Uh, we have so many nannies that are going to be
Right.
Heidi Jolie.
Like me. I
Well,
wasn't. I'm not in the party. I'm
you
just
can come on to the party. It's
kidding.
not too late.
I'm coming.
Okay,
Talk about
all right.
it.
So we have who else is coming? Um, Rachel from Homework Solutions. She's going to be there to talk about fair and legal pay. Uh, we have someone that's coming talking about his name is Janet. Can't think of Janet's last name, but she's going to talk about getting your teens to talk. Now, as a teenager, you can't they like,
That's a good topic. I might have to use that one for my live
yes.
because I have a
She's,
right now.
yeah, she's getting teens to talk. Yes. So all these things are going on. You need to be at that conference. And another drum roll in July for my birthday. I have a conference ticket that I am giving away.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm off. I'm got it.
I am giving away. It's going to be my birthday gift to somebody.
Okay.
So, but there's going to be a process. You ain't just going to get it to you. Didn't think I was just going to hand it over, did you?
Oh my goodness.
There's a method to my madness. Okay, so I will be giving away a conference ticket in July for my birthday. My birthday is July 29th. So remember that. And no, you giving me a birthday gift is not going to sway me to give it to you. There's a process to it. I just
Let,
can see the wheels turning.
let me see the cash app. You know
So
good.
anyway, we will see you all on Wednesday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. And if you're up for it, Nanny Shars is having a nanny meetup on Saturday.
That's this week. Okay. Okay.
That's
I
this
got
week. She's having a nanny meetup. It's for nannies on Saturday. It's from 5 to 7 UK time, which is 11 to 1 Central Standard Time, which will be noon to 2 for you.
you. Okay.
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 Yeah, write it down. So
I'm gonna do my. I haven't planned, but I'm gonna get on my calendar. Hold on. We had a
yes,
comment. We didn't read it. It says, "Oh, it's Patsy. Oh, that's a good topic. I have stories for days, but we want to hear the stories. We all got
we will
stories."
definitely want to hear the stories. Okay, so let me see if there was anybody else who had a comment. Okay, I think we're done. Thank you all for joining us. I didn't intend for it to go this long, but
I know.
when it gets
I'm
good, it gets good.
y'all know I'm old. I'll be like, I gotta go to bed.
Yes, I gotta let her go to bed.
like, I'm like, what time is it? I gotta go sleep.
It's 9:30. Your time.
Right. It's 9:30. I'm tired.
Yes,
But
yes. She
I
said
hope to
my
see you
eye.
guys.
But you see this hour here is closing.
Right. I hope to see you guys soon. Like I said, follow me on IG and Facebook and
Yes.
Nanny Chella. Like I said, I am a really adult nanny. But if you can't deal with somebody that's authentic and just say what is on my mind, I'm not for you.
Oh.
But period poo. I told you I was gonna do it.
Oh, period poo. And we're gonna end on that note.
Right.
Period poo. You all have a
Bye.
great week, and we will see you out throughout the week this week.